morning and welcome. Today I am proud of our state as we take another step in our long journey toward treating all families fairly. Marriage is the word that our society uses to describe a committed, lifelong relationship. With the signing of this bill, the state of Washington will be the first state in the history of our country to repeal a so-called Defense of Marriage Act and make marriage available to gay and lesbian couples and their families. Years from now, our kids will look back and wonder what all the fuss was about. But those of us who lived through the last 20 years appreciate how challenging this change has been. There are thousands of people and organizations that have worked together over many years to achieve this victory, all of which have come together in the Washington United for Marriage campaign. Given the numbers of people who have been involved, it's very risky to single out any for thanks. But as we conclude the legislative part of this effort, I'm going to take that risk. First, I would like to thank Governor Gregoire. Governor, you took a significant risk to request this legislation in a challenging session and to share your personal struggle with this issue. From your work to stop bullying of gay and lesbian youth as Attorney General, to your signing of anti-discrimination, domestic partnership, parentage, and now marriage equality legislation, I think history will remember you as the governor who in U.S. history did the most to advance equality for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. Second, I'd like to thank my Senator, Ed Murray. Senator, without your path-breaking leadership over the last 17 years, we would not be here today. Thousands of families in our state are in your debt. Finally, I'd like to thank my partner and future husband, Eric. Eric left a career as a successful high school administrator in the Bellevue district to take care of our kids, Leif, Trig, Eric, and Anders, all of whom are here today. Without Eric's generous support of me, I would not be able to serve in the legislature. I'm deeply grateful for his love and support. Over the next 9 months, we will all need to work together to tell our stories and defend this victory. I challenge all of us to maintain the same standard of civility and openness that we heard here in the legislative process. I feel confident that as the people of our state hear our stories, they will conclude that allowing gay and lesbian couples to marry is consistent with the best traditions of our state and will strengthen all Washington families. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My friends, welcome to the other side of the rainbow. No matter what the future holds, nothing will take this moment in history away from us. This journey has been historic, it has been long, it has not been easy, and it has often been painful. But we are here today because of courageous families, gay, lesbian, and straight, who told the story of their lives and changed the hearts and minds of legislators. We are here today because of courageous legislators, Democratic and Republican, who voted for our families, often at great political risk to themselves. because of the tremendous leadership of Senate Majority Leader Lisa Brown and Speaker of the House Frank Chalk. We are here today because of a coalition of religious organizations, business, civic organizations, and labor groups around this state. Thank you to them. We are here today on this very historic day because of a group of members in the House. We are here today because of Representative Jamie Peterson. If we, when we think of the Civil Rights Bill, remember Cal Anderson, then when we think of the Marriage Equality Bill, we will always think of Jamie Peterson. We're here because of Speaker Pro Tem Jim Mueller, who conducted whose dignity presiding over the House ensured a civil debate, unlike the 90s. We're here because of Representative Dave Updegrove, who quietly worked his suburban counterparts. We are here because of Mark Elias, a voice of a new generation. And you heard it said you need a woman in the House. Well, the skills of Representative Lori Jenkins proves you need a lesbian in the House. And on a personal note, I am here today and for the last 17 years because of one person, Michael Shiozaki. Thank you. Finally, we would not have been here today on this historic day without the leadership, the passion, and the courage of Governor Christine Gregoire. She was the first to agree to what some considered a questionable strategy, and she never once wavered. On this journey, she has been on our side on the Civil Rights Bill, on the Domestic Partnership Bill, and now on marriage equality. It is my great honor to introduce to you the Governor of the state of Washington and our hero, Christine Gregoire.
Good morning. Welcome to the great state of Washington. Thank you, Ed, and thank you, Jamie. We're here today to make history in this great state. I'm about to sign into law a bill that will make us the 7th state in the nation to give our gay and lesbian citizens marriage equality. I'll do my duty and explain and sign the bill in a few minutes, but first let me say that as governor now for over 7 years of this great state, this is a very proud moment. Most surely, it is a proud day in the history of the legislature and in the state of Washington. It's a day that historians will mark as a milestone for equal rights in this state. A day when we did what was right, we did what was just, we did what was fair. We stood for equality, and we did it together, Republicans and Democrats, gay and straight, young and old, and a number of our faith organizations. I'm proud of who and what we are as a state. I'm proud that our same-sex couples will no longer be treated as separate but equal. They will be equal in the great state of Washington. I'm proud that the children in our schools and neighborhoods will no longer have to wonder why their loving parents are considered somewhat different than other loving parents. I'm proud of parents who have fought so fiercely for the rights of their much-loved gay and lesbian children. I'm proud that children who discover that they are gay and lesbian can feel good about themselves, much like a 16-year-old girl who wrote me recently to tell me that she had accepted her sexual orientation, but it had been hard for her and a hard life, and she had considered suicide. But now with the conversation in this state with marriage equality, it would make her stronger. It would allow her to live. It would allow her to dream of the day that she would not have to get on bended knee and say, "Will you civil union me?" But she will get on her knee and she will say, "Will you marry me?" That we live in a state where a 6-year-old boy came to my office one day with his 2 moms, delivered to me a note written in neat little block letters that said, "Please change the law so we can marry anyone we love." I'm proud to live in a state where 2 women emailed me to say that they'd been together for 20 years this month, and they now can look forward to the day when they can vow their commitment and love in front of their family and their friends, and they can do it right here in their beloved state of Washington. I'm proud to live in a state where just that last Thursday, a gay high school senior wrote to me to say he already had an associate's degree in computer science, and his future was bright, except for one thing. In his email he wrote, "My biggest obstacle in my life is clearly not my passion or my intellect. It is my sexuality. I've grown up in a world where people are not accepted for who they are. So I want you to know that I salute you and your government, because one day, as this nation continues to change, people like me will not have to be extraordinary to appear ordinary." I am so proud. I am so proud of our young people, including my 2 wonderful daughters. Michelle, don't do that. Including my 2 wonderful daughters who tell us that marriage equality is the civil rights issue of their time, and who pollsters say they are helping my generation to catch up. Thank you to that younger generation and my 2 daughters. I'm proud of so many who have led the way, not just this year, but every hard step that has come before. I'm proud of our legislators of both parties who have stood up for what's right, who fought against discrimination, who took a personal journey as I did and voted their conscience. I thank the legislature for not only making history, but in the way that it was done. Proponents and opponents were thoughtful and respectful. I know marriage equality is a difficult issue, and feelings can run high on both sides. Yet, our legislature conducted itself professionally and respectfully, First, a big thank you to our Majority Leader, Lisa Brown, and our Speaker, Frank Chop, for what they did. And I want to thank Minority Leader, Senator Mike Hewitt, and Representative DeBolt, who too joined in to make sure it was a thoughtful, respectful debate. And on this issue, to all four of you, you and your members showed the world the best of Washington State and what democracy is really all about. A thank you to the courageous leadership of individuals who have been there throughout. Representative Lori Jenkins, Jim Moeller, Mark Elias, Dave Upthegrove. You are terrific. You have done a great job. Thank you. God bless each and every one of you. To those who touched my heart with their personal stories, whether it was Kevin, or whether it was Maureen, or whether it was Phyllis, or Sam, or any of the others, those personal stories are what this is all about in Washington State. Thank you, each of you, for sharing. God bless you for your courage and what you've done to make this day possible. And finally, to what I consider to be the heroes of our day. They are Senator Ed Murray and Representative Jamie Peterson. Thank you for skilled leadership. Thank you for being the prime sponsors on marriage equality. We have been on a long journey. We've been through it together. You have the intelligence, you have the care, you have the patience that you have brought to a struggle that will last for the rest of our lives and beyond. This is what defines great legislators, great leaders. Thank you both for all that you have done to make this happen. That journey has been long and it has been hard. It started not in 2006 when we passed anti-discrimination. That was the culmination of years and Cal Anderson's hard work that we took on to ensure that that passed. And then it was followed in 2007 and again in 2008, where the state legislature stood up and said we will have domestic partnerships in our state. But then, importantly, our voters said yes to R71 granting full domestic partner rights, and they did so with a vote of 53 to 47%, the first time in any state to uphold domestic partnership laws in our country. Thank you, people of our state. And now in 2012. Yes, we guessed, we wondered, could it be, would we get the 25th vote? When our legislator and our senators stood up and said, no, it won't be 25, it's 28, 21, and in the House it's 55-43. Thank you for making it clear and decisive. The bill I'm signing today is simple and clear. First, it gives same-sex couples the same right to a marriage license as heterosexual couples in our state. Second, churches or their affiliates do not have to perform same-sex marriages. The law provides an exemption and immunity for religious organizations, religiously affiliated educational institutions, ministers, priests, imams, rabbis, and similar officials of religious organizations. Third, no religious organization is required to provide accommodations, facilities, advantages, privileges, services, or goods related to the solemnization or the celebration of a marriage. In short, let us be clear. This bill preserves freedom of religion for our churches. Absolutely nothing changes in the state of Washington. Here Here in our state, we've taken a long and difficult journey, and now the final step. It is the right step. We have finally said yes to marriage equality. We joined 6 other states in the District of Columbia, allowing same-sex marriage, and their experience proves to all of us that the sky will fall rhetoric is simply not true. A recent University of New Hampshire poll found that the majority of the citizens of New Hampshire want to keep their marriage equality law because they realized it made no difference in their own lives. In Massachusetts, an economic study found that same-sex marriage improved their economy and did so in the state of Iowa. The truth is, respectful, welcoming societies make a stronger economy. Thank you to companies like Microsoft and Starbucks, Google and Nike, Vulcan, Real Networks, Group Health, and Concur. You stood up, you stood for marriage equality. We will be there for you. You are great citizens in the state of Washington. And if asked, the voters of the state of Washington will say yes to marriage equality in the state of Washington. Washingtonians will say yes because a family is a family, all facing the same challenges. Can we keep a roof over our heads? Can we keep our jobs? Can we provide for our children's health and safety, education and happiness? I believe our Washingtonians will say yes because it's time for us to stand up for our sons, our daughters, our brothers, our sisters, our moms, our dads, our friends, and the couple down the road. I believe Washingtonians know it is time. It is time to give our loving gay and lesbian couples the right to a marriage license in Washington state. It is time to allow them to invite their family and friends to witness a marriage in the state of Washington. So today I ask all Washingtonians to look into your hearts and ask yourselves, isn't it time? Isn't it time for our state? Isn't it time for us to tell the children of same-sex couples their parents are as loving and important as any other loving parents? Isn't it time to support strong families and make Washington state stronger? Isn't it time to support strong families and make Washington state stronger? And isn't it time for this state to send a message all across the world? We in this state stand proudly for equality. If asked those questions with their heads and their hearts, I believe the people of the state of Washington will say yes. Marriage equality is right for our state, and our time is now. The time is today. Over the last month, I have been overwhelmed. Thousands of people have called and written from around our great state, from around our nation, and from around the world. They have written to say thank you to me. But I have to say, as I look at those behind me and those to my right, those to my left and those in front of me, the real people who should be receiving the thank you is each and every one of you. You've been there fighting for years. You've stood up proudly for what you believed in. You have took the time to come down here and testify and be a part of the legislative process. You have fought for our gay and lesbian children, and you have fought for your own family members. You, with your loved ones, are giving back to our great communities in our great state and making it stronger. So today is your time. I'm just proud to stand with you at this great moment in the history of our state. I am proud, as governor of the great state of Washington, to sign a bill making marriage equality present in our state. Congratulations, everyone.